Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome to Wizards Outlook. We got Raymond Lyons here. I'm Wilson Tucker. Washington Wizards took on the Detroit Pistons tonight. Last time Ray and I spoke to you guys, we were talking about the challenges the Pistons would, the challenges the Pistons would present the Wizards. In this game, I think the biggest thing that jumped out at me immediately was three of Detroit's starting guards had 20 points in this game. Sometimes it goes simple, but Ray, I want to get your thoughts on this game and where when you felt like it became Detroit's, and yeah, just get your thoughts on this.
Um, yeah, the Wizards they came out flat in the first quarter. They only scored 18 points in the opening period. And typically they kind of figure things out in the midst and fight their way back, which they did in the second quarter, but came out in the third quarter and gave Detroit the reins again. Um, yeah, and that was due to a couple of things. Detroit manhandled them on the boards. Um, you know, offensive glass, they went to work. We talked about the challenge their size would give to the Wizards, and it showed. Also, the Wizards couldn't take care of the basketball, and they couldn't force turnovers. So they weren't creating extra possessions after giving them up due to not securing defensive rebounds and turning the ball over. That was pretty much the deciding factors in the game, man. They both shot the ball fairly the same. They got to the line about the same. Yeah, man, turnovers and rebounds is where the game was decided. And I mean, it's unfortunate because those are two things that are pretty much in your control. But yeah, the slow start was it's catastrophic. We always talk about the slim margin of error this team has, and to come out like that, it, you're digging yourself into a hole when you don't have, the luxury of being able to consistently climb out of those holes. And when you do, like we saw tonight, they came back out in the third quarter, and Detroit responded, and that was pretty much the knockout punch, and they could never recover.
Yeah, like you mentioned, for me it was just Detroit's size. Jay Cunningham is a large human being to be their point guard or their lead guard, whatever you guys want to call it. If your one's able to box out other teams' threes and fours on offensive glass, you're in for a long night. And that happened a couple times. And we saw Cade come just take his time and get into the flow of this game. However, Jaden Ivey, since Detroit's kind of had that coaching change, he's one of the guys that's taken hell off this year under, what is it, Coach Bickerstaff over there now?
Hmm.
Right, under Coach Bickerstaff. And he's been tremendous this year. We saw it in spurts. It's more consistent now. I thought he and Malik Beasley got going early, and that kind of spelled the end for Washington. Beasley, we know exactly what it is. He's in the league to do. If you leave him open, if he catches it, it's going up. And far too often, he was catching it, putting the shot up with nary a closeout. Like you can't give quality shooters clean, multiple clean looks at the basket after a while. They get in a rhythm and you're in trouble at that point. Malik had 26 in this one. Ivy had 28. That's a lot. And Jaden Ivy starts knocking down threes, you're in for a longer day because that's somebody who prides himself on getting downhill. Like
Hmm.
makes a living getting downhill. Now, if he's getting down and on the three, now how do you defend him? He's getting exactly what he wants. Yeah, I just thought it was tough for them. Just Detroit's physicality, I think, overwhelmed Washington for 4 quarters. Um, we saw you mentioned the third quarter. We saw Washington kind of make a little run in the third quarter. Detroit caught a timeout, and they came back out, and it was like a flurry of 3 pointers, and that was that. Uh, like three different folks hit a three, and then it was Washington calling timeout because they were on their heels. Um, you mentioned rebounds. What did you think of just what was going on in the paint in this game on both ends? Period for Washington.
Um, yeah, just they need to understand that they need to rebound as a team. A lot of times, especially when Valanciunas was in the game, he would be the only red jersey going for the boards, and that's not going to cut it, man. Because it's 3 and 4 white jerseys in the paint almost every time, and they're just going to jump them. Like so, they got to help out, man. Everybody's got to rebound. Everybody's got to crash. Of course, not to the detriment of the team and putting yourself out of position, but on offense, 4 people got to be in the paint with one person back. On defense, 5 people need to be in the paint rebounding. They think they said before the broadcast that they have they're dead last in defensive rebound percentage, and I mean that's not surprising because teams clean up on offensive boards against them. So yeah, they got to figure that out, man.
Yeah, and I think that to kind of highlight the added importance of them needing to do it is when JV's in there, clearly, it's mostly like it's drop or whatnot. But you can't leave out. You have to come back and help him. Then it's kind of even worse for Alex, where we're all wanting Alex to do better on the glass and whatnot. But it seems like they switch a lot more when Alex is out there. There was a couple times Alex got stuck on the smaller times, taking a three, and he's contested, forces the miss. There's no way in hell he's getting from the top of the circle to getting aboard with Jalen Duren down there with some, like you said, if he's out there, it needs to be a wall up for Jalen for Duren to be fighting through. Instead, it's the basket, Duren, and then a wall of Wizards jersey behind Duren, and you can't afford to do that. What was it? I think they got beat by like 12 on the glass tonight, but it felt like more at times. But offensive rebounds a big difference. 13-5. That's huge. Huge. The times that you did get stops, you couldn't even get out and run.
Right.
There was a couple of times when a couple of back-breaking threes came off of the
hmm
offensive rebounds. But as always, if you have nothing else, we get into it. Player of the game for you tonight.
Yeah, Kate Cunningham. He controlled the game in every aspect, which is evident by the triple double. But yeah, he set the table for guys, picked the spots, and yeah, man, that's you got a guy 6'8", running the one. I mean, that's a tough thing to deal with. But yeah, he was solid tonight. He really affected the game in multiple ways.
I feel like under I won't say regime, but like under the new coach we have, like Ivy's not the only one that started this year really well. Um, Kay looks like the guy that folks were excited about the Pistons drafting. Back on draft day, it took a little bit. Things happen and whatnot, but it was scary tonight watching him kind of do what a vet does. I know he's not a vet
hmm
yet, but do what a vet does. Kind of right. He took his time getting into the flow offensively for himself. Just kind of put pressure on the defense, getting his guys open, and then and as you said, 6'8" at the one. That's a whole lot to deal with, regardless of who the defender is. If you're big, you're too slow. That's a guard. If you're regular guard size, he is now a big and you're a guard. Um, it's a hell of a luxury to have, man. It's just a hell of a luxury. X factor for the night for you.
Uh, Malik Beasley. He was on one. I don't think he missed till third quarter. But whatever the case may be, man, he was lights out.
Yeah, no arguments there. My man was with two missed shots away from a 30 ball. I'm about to go check how many shots he missed. Period, because he was definitely he was definitely there. He was 10 for 16. Yeah, 10 for 16. Easily feasible. He could have ended with 30 in this one. But yeah, so you had Ivy and Beasley go for 25, go for 26 and 28. Not the loudest game from Duran, and Cade kind of flew under the radar and just controlled the game. And again, 5 steals for him. I know we're on X Factor, but 21, 10, 10, 5, and a block. What else do you want from your point guard? For Washington, I'm saying they don't have a lot of time to think about anything. You got a back to back in New York tomorrow night. Um, yeah, yeah, quick thoughts on getting to New York tomorrow night.
Same thing. If they don't rebound, and take care of the ball, they're gonna lose. It's really as simple as that, man. So yeah, they got to figure out a way to clean that stuff up. You know, at least Kuzma had a efficient game tonight. You know, we gave him a hard time the other night, but you know, he started the game off really aggressive and not only aggressive, but he took smart shots. He started off getting downhill instead of initiating from the 3-point line. So yeah, man, if he can, those are the type of games where you know he makes a positive imprint and he gets himself into a flow easier as opposed to when he starts by launching threes. That's just kind of he's leaving it up to chance because if those first few don't go down, then it seems like mentally he can never recover. You know, but this game he started off getting to the basket and he just looked more comfortable. So, you know, hopefully that trend continues and yeah, Jordan Poole's solid again. He's starting off the season really well. I just hope that can continue. But yeah, against New York, another team with size and length. So yeah, man, they're gonna have to gang rebound and they're gonna have to stop these spells where they just turn the ball over recklessly and it leads to breaks for the other team.
Yeah, as you said, gang rebounding, and they got to find a way to just. I thought Kuz did have a good night offensively. I also felt like as the game went on, the physicality at times, just not getting some calls, kind of played a role. And just them as a group, the East is going really physical, man. I'm gonna have to figure a way to thug it out during these games. Like Detroit, there was contact on every play by the Pistons. They went by the old Seahawks mantra of they couldn't call everything. And if they choose not to call anything, it's even better. So if you live by that, it works. We had one comment, Ray, specifically for you.
My daughter playing on the thing. She's supposed to be getting ready for bed.
Well, we appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night after the Knicks game.